That was not good, guys.
Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. This video I wanted to do a kind of a crash summary of the live stream that I did just recently earlier today. If you watched the previous video, you saw me crash live, and so what I did is I came back and I put it on the bench and went through all this stuff and kind of assessed what damages were done and what needs to be done. So I wanted to go through that with you. If you're new to my channel, I do lots of stuff about RC. The present interest is in quadcopters, both racing and freestyle, as well as aerial photography. I have a DJI Mavic and a Phantom 3 Pro. But I also do things about airplanes once it gets springtime where I can fly outside again. And then also have some ground vehicles that we talk about. So welcome to my channel. Hit my notification bell so you'll be notified when I go live or do a video release. I put a new video out every Sunday evening. And what I've also done now is created a Facebook group. So it's open for the public, so you're welcome to join. And it's go to groups and search for Captain Mavic, and you'll see it's there. So since I have less than 1,000 subscribers, I don't have the ability to make comments on YouTube or posts saying, you know, I'm going to be doing a live stream at this time. So I have to use Facebook to let you know when I'm going to be doing some live streams. But I appreciate your input, and leave some comments and so forth. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. And thanks for coming back.
Back from the crash, going to go through and inspect my quad and kind of provide an analysis of, I think, what happened. Well, I know what happened. I hit a tree. But anyway, I just kind of wanted to take you through the repairs. One of the things, first off, is before I take off the propellers, you kind of see, let me zoom in, on how these get chewed up and so forth. I've recently, on my other quads, been flying a propeller from Emax, the Avan Flow. I really like this one. It's very bendable prop. It has good power. It's a 5x4.3, and generally, most of the times when I crash, it just bends it a little bit, and you can most of the time bend it back. Very rarely will it chip and dent up like this one does. I was flying outside probably the 1st of January in that video, and I went through some tree scraggle, and I've sheared off some of these props, so these just don't seem to be as durable as the Avan Flows. These are the stock props that come with the Immersion RC Vortex 230 Mojo. Let's inspect the battery. See if I have any punctures. Possibly one right there. I might have to keep an eye on that. Alright, next, antenna. So you can see that it punched through the plastic. So that's no good. The antenna may be still pretty good. I'll have to do a test with it. So if you ever were wondering what's inside the video aerial systems, the Ion, it's a plastic shell, and then here's your antenna. So, okay, continuing with the test. So now I'm going to test to see if my power from the VTX got damaged. So I'm using the Immersion RC, but sponsored by Rotor Riot RF meter. It's about 80 bucks. If you buy it from the Rotor Riot store, you actually get two additional antennas. Normally it comes with just the linear pole for sniffing out the power levels, but then you get the MMCX connector in and also the UFL connector in case you want to plug these in directly to your VTX board. Oh, and also comes in with the inline coupler. So let's go ahead and turn this on. So it's reading out 10 milliwatts, 10 dB for my race frequency. Just a reminder for all your new pilots out there, you should not power up your quad without an antenna on it because it will burn up your VTX transmitter. So now I'm going to put back on my antenna that I had. This is the Video Aerial Systems Ion, but the plastic end got punched through, so that's broken. But I want to test this and see if it still has the same signal that I just measured. And I'm measuring, you should measure it right in the center, 5 dB, 4 milliwatts. So I don't know if I'll trust this or not. On this one, I did bang up the carbon fiber. And busted up that, so it looks like I probably need to get a new arm on this one. Motor feels good. My antenna for the receiver, it actually broke the zip tie right there, but the wire seems to be intact, so that's good. So that's an easy fix. Alright, the GoPro, this is the Session 4, so it's not the HD version, but thankfully for the TPU, it doesn't look like it has any damage. Thankfully my video camera looks good. I'd say all in all it came out pretty good. So one of the things I wanted to mention was in the video, whenever I crash, by default I have an arm switch right here. So that kicks off my motors. And when I crash, my initial instinct is to immediately disarm, and then hopefully they'll not get stuck in a tree and so forth. They just fall as it is. So in the flight video, when I did crash, I immediately disarmed my motors. But then when I landed right side up, and I tried to arm back again, but then on this particular setup, I'm using the Joshua Bardwell where you actually have 2 switches to arm. So not only does your stick have to be down, your throttle down, but then once you arm it,
oh yeah, that was the right switch.
It doesn't arm it yet, but I actually have to hold in this momentary switch for like a half second.
Engines armed.
And then once I disarm,
Throttle disabled.
I have to rearm, and they won't start spinning again until I hold this in.
Throttle disabled.
So I'm thinking that if I actually disable this feature where I have to have a double switch to arm it, and then go back to my race, like my race quads, I just have one switch to arm and disarm. I could have actually probably saved my crash, where once it came down and crashed, hit the ground, and I was upright, I could have armed again and then taken right off. But it is what it is. Lesson learned.